Rupert Grint is a household name now thanks to the infamous and beloved Harry Potter series, which released its final part about 12 years ago. So what does Grint think of his iconic role now? Turns out the British actor is opening to reprising his role as Weasley. The actor, who is currently aged 34, got the part to play the young and adored redhead back when he was just 11. He sat down with WGN entertainment reporter Dean Richards to discuss his new upcoming film, Knock at the Cabin. There, Richards asked Grint if he'd like to return as Ron Weasley ever again. To which Grint said for sure he would, and that he hasn't given it a lot of thought yet, but he has no reason not to, as it was a great time in his life. The actor also said that he loves the character, and that he feels kind of protective over him since they both sort of became the same person. Richards then questioned him about the possibility of seeing somebody else but him doing it, to which Grint laughed and said he doesn't know, but if the time was right, and if everybody was coming back, he'd be down to do it. He added that he'd also be interested in watching someone else in a remake of the film, which is probably very likely in the next few years. Grint then said that he was very grateful to be a part of the film series, and that he wouldn't be here if it wasn't for those movies. He even revealed that he was actually a fan of the books, which is what got him on this path. Well, I don't know about you, but the idea of a Harry Potter reunion film sounds absolutely magical. But this isn't the only time he said this. The actor has said on several occasions that he would come back for his role. It clearly indicates that the man loved that time and wants it back for a final hurrah. And don't we all? And he's been positive about it on all occasions. During another interview with Good Morning Britain, Grint was asked if he would play Ron again. He seemed open to the idea then too. He even admitted to feeling a kind of ownership of Ron, but he mentioned how much he enjoyed seeing Paul Thornley portray the role in the official Harry Potter sequel play, The Cursed Child. Just recently, Grint appeared on This Morning for yet another promotional interview for his upcoming horror movie, this time appearing with his co-star Fleabag's Ben Aldred. He was asked about it again and had a similar and positive response. He even added that he'd like to see what his character was up to now.
Do you mind? Everywhere else is full. Not at all. I'm Ron, by the way. Ron Weasley. I'm Harry Potter. Wingardium Leviosa. Stop.
I do.
Yeah, no, I remember this.
Just shut your mouth.
It was, I mean, this is. There's hundreds and hundreds of examples of this, and me and Dan were notoriously.
I mean, wouldn't we all love to see that? I know I would. So the question arises, will there be more Harry Potter spin-offs? In a lot of ways, the Harry Potter universe is in worse shape than it's ever been. J.K. Rowling's controversial remarks have turned everyone, from her biggest fans to movie stars, against her. This includes the 3 stars of the film, Daniel Radcliffe, Emma Watson, and Rupert Grint. It's also raised concerns about how many people will buy the recently released Hogwarts Legacy game. There is now even more reason to be concerned about Harry Potter's Wizarding World.
In light of your unique situation, joining us as a 5th year, we've devised something extraordinary to ensure your success. A lot to absorb on your first day.
Can't believe I'm here.
Professor Weasley has asked that your professors give you instruction outside of the ordinary curriculum.
Fantastic Beasts lead star Eddie Redmayne was asked in an interview about any future films in the Wizarding World. Unfortunately for us fans, he said that there was nothing in the cards that he's aware of, and that it's not something that's in the cards when it comes to future spin-offs. That's terrible. It's so unfair to us fans that the author of one of the most beloved book series turned out to be so problematic. But
I've not given it a huge amount of thought, I must admit, but I think I don't have any reason not to. It was a great time in my life. I love that character. I feel kind of almost kind of protective of him. We kind of became the same person throughout those films. But also in the same light, it'd be interesting to see someone else do it if they ever remade it, which is probably
dramatic. But Harry Potter isn't the only thing we have from the Wizarding World. We have Harry Potter's famous yet controversial spin-off, Fantastic Beasts. The original Harry Potter films became the studio's greatest cash cow, so they understandably wanted to continue the franchise with their Fantastic Beasts spin-off films. And those films had what sounds a bit like a winning premise at the time. They followed the journey of unimposing wizard Newt Scamander as he becomes involved in some of the important developmental incidents. The premise surrounds both Dumbledore's rise and the fall of that wizard's one-time love interest turned upmost villain Grindelwald when Fantastic Beasts and Where to Find Them was released. It was a critical and commercial success. Part of what made the film so popular was its entertaining storyline. It had Scamander tasked with tracking and capturing the Fantastic Beasts that were loose in America. Then Fantastic Beasts: The Crimes of Grindelwald was released, expanding the Wizarding World, but it was the opposite of its successors. It was panned by critics and fans alike, and having drama magnate Johnny Depp play Grindelwald didn't seem to help this series' reputation. However, the film went on to gross over $654 million at the box office and became the 10th highest grossing film that year, paving the way for a sequel. But the third movie, Fantastic Beasts: The Secrets of Dumbledore, turned out to be a disappointment. It barely covered the budget and didn't do well with critics and fans. I guess we're not really getting a fourth part, but should that be the end of the Wizarding World? Absolutely not. In fact, this is the perfect time for a Harry Potter spin-off. Why? Well, for starters, the movies have gotten really old now. 20 years may not seem like a long time for the first installment of a saga. The most recent Harry Potter film is only a decade old, excluding the Fantastic Beasts series. Nonetheless, the first film's visual effects aren't as impressive as they once were. Far from being poorly executed, younger audiences may be disappointed if they begin watching movies today. Furthermore,
It was amazing to see everyone again. It's been a long time since I've seen any of them, and but I think about those movies all the time, and I think about Dan and Emma a lot. But it was such a weird time to kind of finish something that
today. Furthermore, Harry Potter fans and readers will recall how the saga takes a dark turn in the center, with darker themes. What was once a brilliant move when the movies were released has become more inconvenient for younger fans. The later entries in particular may be too obscure for parents who want to introduce their children to this magical world. For example, the Fantastic Beasts series. So the question remains, what new storylines could they make movies off of today? There are numerous fantastic storylines that could be developed into a fantastic show. Ralph Fiennes, who played Voldemort, has also contributed ideas for the saga. The most resonant are Voldemort's background story and rise to power, or even Severus Snape's adolescence. A tie-in with the Harry Potter saga would be beneficial because it is the most beloved franchise and could encourage people to rewatch the original films. But that's not the only approach. The second approach that the spinoff could have is a shorter duration. A self-contained one-season miniseries would do marvels for the franchise. Extensive narratives were critical in the early stages of the saga, but it's now time for shorter one. In that regard, Harry Potter could learn from Star Wars, a franchise that understands how to expand a universe. These universes continue to pique the interest of audiences. Harry Potter is still relevant today, and his fame is far from over. Nonetheless, Fantastic Beasts' failure isn't a complete disaster. Many interesting story elements can be saved for future spin-offs, and poor performance is only an open invite to a more interesting bet. Allowing the momentum to die will only freeze the franchise's current condition for a handful of years, which isn't necessarily a bad thing. And that was all we know about Grint's reviews about coming back to the Wizarding World. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you next time.